Brand new box office breakdown show here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. Today, I am breaking down the box office in the final box office month in the month of March in 2026, which was March 27th to the 29th. I'm also going to preview all the videos that are hitting my channel this week. And I'm also going to tell you guys all the movies that are hitting theaters in the month of April. So welcome back everyone to a brand new video here on Max Talks Movies. We appreciate you guys checking this one out. Before I get started, guys, breaking down the box office this past weekend, this will be the final box office video I do in 2026, which doesn't include the domestic and worldwide numbers for the year. I always wait until around March and April because I don't really have enough movies to give good stats for. But once we're into April, that's 3 full months into the year, then we can start breaking down the overall numbers domestically and worldwide. So next Monday here on the channel, that will begin. So let's get started, guys. Talk about the box office of this past weekend, which I said was the 27th to the 29th in the month of March. And Project Hail Mary in its second weekend only dropped 32.3%, 54.5 million for Project Hail Mary. It's up to 164 domestically, 300 million right now worldwide for Project Hail Mary. For Amazon MGM Studios, this will be a big hit for them. Now, again, the budget for this movie was near $250 million. It's around 248. So the break even is around like $615, $620 million worldwide. And again, we're only halfway to that point, but the word of mouth is extremely strong for Project Hail Mary. Yes, there was no competition this past weekend, but still getting close to basically a 30% drop is an unbelievable number, especially when this movie had the biggest opening weekend of the year so far. Now, a lot of people are saying, why can't Project Hail Mary get to the billion-dollar club? Because it is alongside like Oppenheimer domestically. The biggest problem for Project Hail Mary is it's just not a massive hit internationally. When you want to be in the billion-dollar club, usually you want 60% of your box office to be international, 40% of your box office being domestic. Usually that is the key number to get to $1 billion. The only movie recently that got to at least a little bit more domestic than international that got to $1 billion was Top Gun Maverick a couple years ago, which were very even. Project Hail Mary does have an amazing 164.3 number domestically, but the movie's only up to 136.5 internationally. So it's made more money domestic than international. I can't really explain to you guys sometimes why these movies aren't hits. It feels like this movie should be a bona fide hit internationally. There's really one person talking. It feels like it's a good excuse for people, either to be dubbed or the closed captions, and there's not a lot of, stuff like that. But again, Project Hail Mary is not an overseas success, and that will affect it getting to $1 billion. Now, do I think the movie will get to its break-even point? Yes, this movie still is doing quite well. Yes, there's major family competition in the month of April, but there aren't really a lot of major movies hitting theaters in April. I would say only two bona fide success movies, in my opinion, as of now, are hitting theaters in April, with Super Mario this week and Michael at the end of the month. So I still think there's a lot more time for Project Hail Mary to make money in theaters. As I said, the word of mouth is so strong that people are going back to rewatch this over and over again. It's at a really good number right now. It's a success. But again, 620 is around the break-even point. We will see if it can at least get to like that $600 million range. At number 2 this past weekend is Hoppers, which is in its fourth weekend from Disney and Pixar. It made another 12.2 million. It's up to 138 domestic, and it's up to 297 worldwide. So look at that. So Hoppers has been in theaters now for a month, and it's up to $297 million worldwide. Only a week, basically, for Project Hail Mary. It's already made $300 million. So Hoppers definitely, on its opening weekend, was a huge success for Pixar. It gave Pixar great headlines. Just like Project Hail Mary, the word of mouth is fantastic for Hoppers. But Hoppers is not an unbelievable success for Pixar. The film's budgeted around 150 million right now, is the budget, sorry, for Hoppers. So the break even for that movie at the moment is 375, around 350, like that range for the film. But It's only at 300 million. So Hoppers is not a bona fide success for Pixar. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be able to get to Elemental levels of success because Elemental had one of the worst opening weekends ever for Pixar, but it got to $500 million worldwide. Here's Hoppers, one of the best openings for a Pixar movie, non-franchise in a decade, but it's not going to come close to Elemental. So again, I think for Pixar, the brand is more intact. People like Hoppers. There's not a lot of negativity around the film, both from press and fans. And again, they're going to have a bona fide mega hit with Toy Story 5 in the summer. So I think things are in the up and up for Pixar, but everyone's still acting like Hoppers is an amazing success. Not really from a financial perspective. It's going to probably barely break even theatrically, and then obviously it will make its money down the line. But again, brand wise, I think Pixar is better than they were probably 2, 3 years ago. They Will Kill You was the only new movie that hit theaters this weekend that got into the top five. It made $5 million. Again, the film comes from Warner Brothers. It made $9 million overall. And again, I think this movie tough opening. It came out a week after Ready or Not 2, and those movies have been marketed very similarly. They kind of, at least I thought they looked like the same exact movie. And it kind of hurt each other because, again, Ready or Not isn't even in the top five. Ready or Not 2 is already outside of the top five in its second weekend, while They Will Kill You sneaks into $5 million. So I think Ready or Not 2, They Will Kill You really hurt themselves releasing so close to each other. Again, the budget for They Will Kill You is only $20 million. So it needs to make around 45 just to break even. It's up to 9 million. It's not going to be a big success. We'll see how it does on digital, but it seems like no one is really talking about this movie. At number four is the Bollywood movie from last week, Durandar: The Revenge, making 4.7 million in its second weekend. That's a 52% drop, 22.7 million domestic. I think it's a really good drop for this Bollywood movie. And look, Ready or Not is already outside the top five in its second weekend, and Durandar staying in. As I said, the powerfulness of the international movies continues. We're not just seeing them be big hits in one weekend and then leave. People hear the word of mouth, hear the buzz around the movie being in the top five, and then they go check it out for weekends to come. So, really good, fruitful box office, I would say, here. And wrapping up the top five is Reminders of Him sneaking back in its third weekend from Universal, 4.7 million. 41% drop. It's up to 41 million, excuse me, domestically, 4.7 this past weekend, around 70 million right now for Reminders of Him worldwide. So again, moderate success. The fact that it's hanging around the top five, I think is impressive because again, it's another movie that I don't see anyone talking about. So let's get into the box office and the movies that are hitting theaters in the month of April. Whenever a new month is beginning, I like to preview all the movies hitting theaters. So because it's spring break, Super Mario Galaxy movie is hitting theaters not Friday, this Wednesday, April 1st. So I know a lot of people don't realize that the movie's hitting theaters this Wednesday, and the first film, which came out in 2023, made over $1 billion. The projections are this will be by far the biggest opening weekend of the year so far. A lot of people like myself believe this movie will get into the $1 billion club. We will see if the buzz is there as the Super Mario Galaxy movie hits theaters this Wednesday. Hitting theaters this Friday is the new A24 film, The Drama, starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. Zendaya, 5 major projects that she is in the year 2026. This is the Kickstarter. We'll see if Zendaya's superstardom can help power The Drama to a big opening for A24. Hitting theaters on April 10th, the only major big release is You, Me, and Tuscany. That's the rom-com starring Halle Bailey and Regé-Jean Page. We'll see if, again, Halle Bailey trying to get back into movies after The Little Mermaid, and Regé-Jean Page post Bridgerton has not become a major movie star. We'll see if that rom-com can do some damage on April 10th. Hitting theaters on April 17th is Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Again, it's a more horror look at the actual Doing the Mummy franchise. Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz are coming back for a movie next year. But Lee Cronin, his attempt at The Mummy hits theaters on April 17th. And then the big release on April 24th is Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic directed by Antoine Fuqua. Many people believe could be a big success. Obviously, a lot of divisive Michael Jackson fans, but that movie hits theaters at the very end of April. So, what are you guys' thoughts on the month of April? I have a lot of also videos, guys, coming out this week. My Daredevil review will be up this week. My Invincible review will be up this week. My Super Mario and the drama reviews and out of theater reactions will be up this week. So tons of videos, guys, on the channel. If you like videos like these, subscribe, ring the bell. Really would mean a lot. Comment down below your thoughts. Like the video, and I'll see you guys with another video very soon.